Have you ever wondered what would happen if a professional tuning company got to tinkering on an old Civic? Well, Mercedes had the same idea and stepped up to the plate. Today we're going to be talking about the Honda Ballade AMG. This car is the result of the unlikely collaboration between Honda and the German tuning company AMG. And though that sounds amazing, the partnership only ran from 1996 till 2001 until it mysteriously ended. Okay, but how did this crossover even come to be? Well, to be honest, it's more of a right time, right place situation. And it all took place in good old South Africa. At the time, Mercedes-Benz was struggling to sell their cars. Even their entry-level 190e was deemed too expensive by local buyers. But luckily for them, Honda was trying to dip their toes into the South African car market at the same time. So the two companies struck a deal. Honda was able to sell their cheaper vehicles, like the Honda Ballade, through Mercedes dealerships. And it's kinda cool to think that for a short period in time, you could walk into a Mercedes dealership and buy a Civic. Just cool to think about. Now, before we get to all the juicy stuff, we first have to uncover what the hell is a Honda Ballade. Originally introduced in the 1980s, the Honda Ballade was released as a subcompact car and was positioned as an upscaled version of the classic Civic. The car's refined appearance was aimed at buyers who were looking for a small sedan that had some nifty little features and had slightly more elegance. To stay true to that fact, the name Ballade was derived from the French word for ballad. This was to make the car sound more sophisticated and appeal to the right buyers. Which is kinda ironic, cause nowadays, most Ballades on the roads are utterly clapped. As is the Honda way. Honda knew there was a gap in the market for a reliable and fuel-efficient car, and the Honda Ballade was their weapon of choice to fill that hole. With that brief history out of the way, it's time to start talking about the good stuff. To help get Honda in the spotlight, Mercedes called up their German tuner buddies and said, "Hey, have a crack at this." Now, before AMG got their little snitchel fingers all in the engine bay, the 1.8 liter inline 4 known as the B18B4 cranked out for about 138 horsepower. The Ballade had a variety of engines over the years, but AMG decided to use this one. Now, since there's so little information about this car, it's hard to pinpoint the exact amount of power output this car made after AMG tinkered with it, but according to most sources, the AMG tuned B18 cranked out a respectable 173 horsepower. That's about 40 extra ponies, which given the car, is not that bad. The reason for this boost in performance has to do with the car's new performance exhaust system. But other than that, there wasn't much change to the car itself. Some sources state that the car had modified suspension, others say the car had a more aerodynamic build, but with the lack of information about this car, all of those are just speculations. You could buy the Ballade with these sick alloy wheels though. And just to be clear, the fact that this thing even exists already makes it a cool car. So why did they stop making them? And why are they so damn hard to find? Well, it all has to do with where they were sold. You see, South Africa's largest car market is situated in Gauteng, the place of gold. The only problem is that it's 1700 meters or 5600 feet above sea level. This elevation made it super hard for the B18 to operate at full capacity and made a car lose up to 20% of its power. But it wasn't just the Ballade who suffered, it was practically every naturally aspirated engine. Now, we could assume that because of the car's lack of power, buyers found the car underwhelming and didn't see a reason to buy it, since now it's just an overpriced Honda with an AMG badge on it. Neither Honda nor Mercedes want to admit as to why this partnership ended and as to why they kept this car on the low. We might never get the answer, but you know what? I'm just happy it happened. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Easy. My name is Tian, and I will see you in the next one.